Hi everybody, welcome back or welcome to the channel. It's your boy Reactee, and today we're doing a Silent Nightmares 5 scary ghost videos to sacrifice your sleep. I don't know why you want to do that, but let's see what Silent Nightmares has for us today.
A man named Johnny claims he has been dealing with strange paranormal activity inside his home for quite some time, but he has no idea what's causing it. Late one night, he suddenly hears loud, aggressive banging echoing through the house. Concerned, Johnny gets up to investigate. When he reaches the area where the noise is coming from, he hears something even more disturbing.
I gotta say, if I got woken up in the middle of the night to that kind of pounding, I would react this slowly too, because who the heck wants to deal with that so early in the morning?
¿Qué quieres?
Johnny, por favor, ábreme.
Oye, escuchas.
Sí, ábreme ya. Apúrate, ándale.
¿Qué quieres?
Johnny. Johnny, ábreme.
No te voy a abrir. No te voy a abrir.
Ábreme ya.
Calma la niña. Tranquila, mami.
Ándale.
No te voy a abrir. Vete.
Johnny,
Oye, no manches, ¿viste?
ábreme.
Vete. Esto es impresionante. Lárgate, lárgate de aquí. No te voy a abrir, lárgate.
Por favor, ábreme.
Lárgate. Tú no perteneces aquí. Vete.
A creepy voice that sounds like it's trying to get inside. But when Johnny looks around, there's no one there. The house appears complete.
Okay, so there's no one out the window, and there's a strange groaning going on at the same time. Where the heck is that coming from? Unless there's somebody on the ground right below the window. He doesn't look down. That is one thing. I was surprised it knew his name so well that he could call it, that it responded to him. It must have been someone he recognized, some sort of mimic trying to pretend to be somebody he knew. It's weird.
Empty. After this unsettling encounter, Johnny decides to set up a security camera inside his home, pointing it toward the area where the mysterious banging usually happens late at night. For several nights, nothing unusual appears, until around 3 a.m., when the camera captures something truly chilling.
Okay, that is grating, that noise. Ow. So apparently it's some kind of interference and glitching. And then there's something moving here. I thought it was something hanging off the wall, like a coat or something. But that looks like somebody moving around. That's weird. I mean, these are nothing as far as I can tell. They've been there the whole time. It's this figure here that's moving around. So they may look like eyes, but I'm sure it's just some light reflecting off something somewhere while they're watching the playback.
In the footage, a pale gray face with long dark hair slowly peeks out from behind the corner of the hallway. It lingers there for a moment, staring into the room, before suddenly disappearing back behind the wall. Moments later, a rocking chair nearby begins moving on its own, gently rocking back and forth without anyone touching it. But the strange activity doesn't stop there. A few weeks later, Johnny suddenly rushes his family into the bedroom and locks the door after hearing something that terrifies him.
Nada, no tengan miedo porque si no eso se alimenta de nosotros, ¿eh? No tengan miedo.
Papá, ¿pero quién es?
Tranquilos. Tranquila, mami, tranquila. No pasa nada.
Sí, tranquilos, sí.
Sí, escucha, o sea.
No, eso está muy cañoso, sí.
Sí, es que ya cada vez está más fuerte esto. Ya, bebé, ya. Tranquila.
A su máquina, no más.
Tranquila.
So I'm not sure if you can hear it, but in the background on the other side of the door, it sounds like the little boy that was talking earlier, but he's in the room with them. So that's weird. You can just barely make out somebody talking on the other side of the door. So either a TV's been left on when they rushed into the room, or again, it's a mimic or something like that, pretending to be the little boy to get their attention. I like how they're trying to say ignore it so you don't give it power, yet they're hiding in another room.
Tranquila, mi amor. Ya, empecemos.
A su máquina, no manches.
Ah, mi bebé. Sí, mi amor, te da miedo, te da miedo. Sí, mi vida, te da miedito.
Tranquilos, no tengan miedo. No, Maxi, tranquilo.
Mami, no pasa nada, tranquila.
No manches, güey.
Espérense aquí, tranquilos.
No mames, güey. Sí,
So now you basically have your family trapped in a room together with something pounding on the door and something pounding on the window. Yeah, that's not a pleasant experience. Hopefully they only did this for one night and then they left or something. Went somewhere else to a relative's house or something. Because that is creepy as heck, and that's quite good evidence unless they're playing it up for the camera. Like a staged event. It's weird though.
His wife, his daughter, and his other child are all safely inside the room with him. Then something impossible happens. From the other side of the locked door, they hear the voice of Johnny's daughter, begging to be let in while aggressively banging on the door. The problem is, his daughter is already inside the room with them. On another night, the same thing happens again. This time, Johnny gathers the courage to open the door and search the entire house. But after checking every room, every hallway, and every corner, he finds absolutely no one there. So the question remains, if his daughter was already inside the room with him, who or what was outside the door calling for help?
I thought it was his son, but a daughter makes more sense.
Deep in the Appalachian Mountains, right near the intersection where the mountains...
If there's another strange creature in the Appalachian Mountains, I'm just going to end it, because I don't like these videos from the Appalachian Mountains. There's so many of them, too. It's crazy how many there are.
Meet the gypsum mines. A concerned mother named Felicia lives with her family in a very secluded area. According to Felicia, strange and unexplained things often happen around their property, especially late at night. Over time, the family has almost grown used to the eerie activity. Felicia has tried installing security cameras from 3 different companies around the property, hoping to capture whatever might be causing the disturbances. But for some reason, the cameras never seem to work properly. Whenever she tries to check the recordings, the system simply says, Video unavailable. One afternoon during the daytime, something unusual happens. Felicia suddenly hears her son crying. When she asks him what's wrong, he tells her that he heard someone outside on the back porch.
I heard a help or something.
On the back porch.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, hold on.
And then it's like I heard Lila's voice singing, and then I heard Dad just say, hey, and I didn't do anything about it because I don't know.
Sissy's voice?
Yes. And then I heard some whistling.
I need you to, okay, all right. I'm gonna stay upstairs because Gunner is freaked out. He's freaked out. All right. It was loud, and it was Lila.
I heard Dad's voice just say, hey.
Yeah. So there's two different voices on the back porch. I'm not opening the door. I am upstairs with Gunner right now. There's nobody out there. Oh my God. Why is my door opening? And there's nobody out there. Look at all of them.
I don't mind people recording their faces as a reaction to what's going on around them. Like, this is pretty normal. But if you go to investigate, turn the camera forward so other people see what you're seeing. She said the door was opening. I didn't see that. There's no way I could believe anything like that. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and so far there has been none. I mean, there was a voice in the recording, something calling for help, and the dogs freaked out. You could hear them running down the stairs, but other than that, there's really nothing going on here.
Don't mind me bad. Look at the dogs. They are froze.
Someone calling out for help. Concerned, Felicia begins recording while waiting for assistance to arrive. As she listens closely, she starts hearing it too. A faint voice in the distance calling for help. Then the situation becomes even more unsettling.
Look at the dogs. Don't.
The family dogs suddenly freeze. They begin huffing and forcefully exhaling, the way animals often do when they sense something unfamiliar nearby. Their attention is fixed on the window, staring out toward whatever might be outside. Felicia keeps recording, unsure of what's happening.
Now, in the Appalachia Mountains, there are some rules, apparently, to staying there. For example, the kid, Gunner, thought he heard whistling. If you hear whistling in the Appalachian Mountains, no, you didn't. You just ignore it and move on, and never ever whistle back. That's not a good thing. But yeah, there are so many paranormal events in the Appalachian Mountains. It's crazy. Oh, it's so crazy. And yeah, these dogs are just standing there. Then all of a sudden, there's a noise outside, and they turn and start to run. Oof, this is not good.
As the dogs slowly approach the window, they suddenly jump back as if something outside startled them. Felicia is deeply disturbed. Strange things usually happen around the property at night, but she's never experienced anything this intense in broad daylight. Now her biggest fear is that the voices might lure her children outside, and not knowing what or who might be out there, she's left wondering what she should do next. A man named Moses had a strange and
yeah, that is an issue Also, apparently in the Appalachian Mountains, there are a lot of missing people, missing children, events going on that go on there. Um, there was a episode of Twin Paranormal where they stayed up in the mountains at a old abandoned church, I think it was, that someone had fixed up for people to stay at when they're hiking the trails. But yeah, it was a weird one. They went over like 10 or 15 different missing people cases to try to figure out names that they were getting from their recording devices. So it was pretty interesting. But yeah, I looked into it afterwards, and there are an absurd amount of missing people cases in the Appalachian Mountains.
Settling encounter at a local park that left him deeply shaken. A few days later, he decided to return to the same playground with his wife, hoping to quietly observe the area from a distance and see if anything unusual would happen again. As Moses records the empty playground late at night, everything seems completely normal at first. The park is silent and...
Like how, for a playground scene, Silent Nightmare put some stock footage of a cemetery in there. It's a little weird thing to do, but whatever.
Still, until something strange begins to happen.
Cheque nomás, estamos solos, no hay nadie aquí en la presa. Aquí venimos de nuevo para checar otra vez lo del mentado árbol que habíamos de susodicho árbol, no, pero pues la neta, esta vez la verdad no quisimos bajar, ni quisimos, aquí estamos yo y mi esposa, y pues la neta esta vez no quisimos bajar, por precaución, porque no sabemos qué es lo que pueda haber ahí. Entonces mejor nos quedamos aquí, pero ahí se mira donde está solo. Mira, ahí están los juegos, donde está nada prácticamente. Ay, no mames. Mira. No me jodas. Ay, no más, chequen ustedes, miren. No, vámonos mejor. Vámonos. No, esto no está bien. Vámonos. Aquí definitivamente sí hay algo. Ay, no más, chequen, Julio.
Again, outdoor events are a little hard to specify as paranormal. A lot of voices carry, depending on the terrain. Though it may not be windy where he's standing, down a couple meters there, it might be a gentle breeze going, which got the things moving, but who knows? So paranormal stuff at an outdoor venue are a lot harder to determine than in a building where it's a little more controlled.
Y mira, y nomás ese aparato ese que está. Nomás ese aparato ese que se está moviendo. No, sí está cañón. Vámonos mejor. No, vámonos ya.
One of the swings suddenly starts moving on its own. These aren't lightweight swings that can easily sway in the wind. The pedals are fairly heavy and usually require a noticeable push to get them moving. Yet, here they are, slowly swinging back and forth without anyone near.
And this doesn't look like a playground. I mean, one end of it did, but this end that they keep looking at looks more like a workout or gym area that some parks have. So that's a little strange. But yeah. Even Silent Nightmare says they're heavy, but how do we know? Unless he's been there, he doesn't know either. So a lot of equipment like that is hollow plastic, because who wants to put expensive metals and stuff out where people could just wreck it? So often those are basically cheap plastic that you can fill with sand or water to give it some weight. And oftentimes they don't even bother. So I don't know why he would think that it's heavy. I mean, the guy might say it, but we have no proof of that. So.
By watching this, Moses becomes visibly uneasy. Remembering what happened just a few nights earlier, he quickly tells his wife that it might be time to leave. A few nights before this recording, Moses had brought his 2 children to the same playground so they could play on the slide. It was supposed to be a simple family outing, but things took a disturbing turn when they noticed something strange watching them from a distance.
No, eso. No te vas a golpear la resbaladilla cuando te bajes.
¿Me bajo?
Sí.
Ah.
Mira, espérate. Dana, ven. Amor. Vénganse para acá. Mira, a ver, miren el árbol aquel. No, la neta, te lo juro que yo miraba algo. Como que se asomaba. A ver, vengan.
Ella me dio miedo.
No, es que yo miré algo, neta. No pasa nada. No, mi amor, no pasa nada, ven. No era nada, ven. ¿Qué?
¿Qué?
No sé, no. Mira, sí se miró. ¡Ey! ¿Quién está ahí?
Honestly, a person hiding behind a tree at a kid's playground, probably you don't want your kids anywhere near them anyway. So I would have just left instead of trying to figure out who was back there, personally. But that's just me.
Yo sí miré, alcancé a ver algo. Mira, ¿te checaste? ¿Viste?
¿Qué es eso?
A ver.
No, manito.
Oh, mira.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Ay, no.
They keep saying, "What is it? What is it?" And I don't see anything. Like I saw something poke around the tree up here, around here, earlier, but nothing else since then. It's been like the way the shadows play on the tree trunk, and that's about it.
Hey! Brujo! ¡Asómate!
Behind one of the trees near the playground, a pale face can briefly be seen peeking out. The figure appears to be staring directly at them before suddenly pulling back behind the tree and disappearing.
Honestly, that could have been a raccoon or some other nocturnal rodent, possum, whatever they have where he lives. It could be a lot of things. That doesn't necessarily mean it's paranormal. As I said, outdoor locations are notoriously difficult to figure anything out in because there's no control. You could have some wild animal just walk right up to you, so who knows?
Startled and terrified by what they saw, the family immediately turned around and ran from the park. Now, seeing the swing move on its own in the exact same place, Moses believes it might be connected to whatever was watching them that night. But whether it's truly something paranormal or just a strange coincidence, I'll let you be the judge. Over on TikTok, a woman known as Casey Creates uploaded a short clip back in February of 2023. In the video, she's simply trying to let her dog outside late at night, using nothing but a flashlight to see into the darkness. But the moment she opens the door, her dog suddenly refuses to step forward. At first, Casey assumes the dog is just being stubborn or playful. Thinking it's a cute moment, she pulls out her phone and starts recording. What she doesn't realize is that she may be about to capture something far more unsettling.
We have seen this clip before, but not from the first. We saw it from almost the end last time, so this should be interesting context.
Something that would turn an ordinary night into what many viewers now consider one of the more disturbing clips caught on camera.
What is that? Hello? Archie, what is that? Mom?
Now, I'm not sure why there's no sound. There was in the last time we saw it. Maybe it's when she edits the video and puts the captions over it. It blocks out the sound. I'm not sure, because I don't remember seeing those captions last time we saw this clip. But yeah, it's the woods. The terrain could be at different heights. Therefore, the animals could be at different heights. Because it's nighttime and we don't know what the terrain around here looks like, just because these guys are lower and more deer size, the guy that's over here isn't necessarily not a deer because he's taller. He could be standing on a little mound for all we know. Like I said, it's nighttime. We don't see the terrain. She might know the terrain, and it might be off for her. But I have seen deer stand up while pushing off against a tree to get leaves or apples. So deer can appear taller than they actually are if they do that. Which also might explain why some of them look like they're side-eyeing her, because they have to turn their head funny. But yeah, it's most likely just wildlife. Granted, it is creepy, and the way the dog reacts is a little weird. I've never seen a dog be scared of the deer. Usually, I've seen them either be playful around them or want to rip them apart. I've never seen one be afraid of them. Although maybe he's had an encounter with deer before and realizes they can be dangerous.
Come on, Rocky, let's go inside. Come on, let's get out of here.
Not long into the video, the dog suddenly begins barking toward the tree line. The animal seems completely fixated on something out there, even though nothing is clearly visible yet. Casey later explains that she could hear movement in the distance, something walking through the trees. Then, faintly, a pair of reflective eyes appears in the beam of her flashlight. Moments later, more eyes begin to show up. In total, what looks like 3 separate pairs can be seen staring back from different heights in the darkness. Casey says that at first she couldn't see anything at all, but the sounds outside were getting louder. When the first set of eyes appeared, she assumed it might belong to a deer. But when more pairs appeared beside it, she began wondering what else could be out there. Some viewers believe there's a simple explanation. They suggest that multiple deer standing at different distances could easily create the illusion of eyes appearing at different heights, but others aren't so convinced.
That's what I said. But yes, there are people that are going to say, oh, skinwalkers, or some sort of demon, wendigo, whatever.
They point out the strange stillness, the spacing between the glowing eyes, and the way they seem to remain completely fixed in place. A few viewers even compared the moment to urban legends like the Wendigo, a creature said to lurk deep within remote forests, watching silently from the tree line. Of course, there may very well be a logical explanation, but when you're standing alone at night, staring into complete darkness while several glowing eyes stare back at you, even the most rational explanation doesn't stop your imagination from filling in the room.
That is true. A person's imagination will run wild if you let it. Now, these, because I've seen and interacted with deer, that would be the first place my mind goes, deer. There is also the possibility of, like if it's a lot of noise, it could be a pack of wolves, or on the island here, it's coyotes. You could see several pairs of eyes watching you from the trees, and it's just them. And like I said, terrain and distance matter. We don't know the terrain of this area. It's too dark. So who knows if there's hills or mounds, creek beds, fallen trees, things animals could climb on with reflective eyes. Heck, I've even had a family of raccoons wake me up once, and I turned on the outdoor light and looked out the door, and I saw 4 or 5 pairs of eyes staring back at me. It was weird. Yeah, it's weird, man.
Rest. And sometimes that's exactly what makes these kinds of videos so unsettling. 2 sisters are home alone in their bedroom when suddenly the house alarm begins blaring. It immediately sends them into panic. From what they can tell, someone may have broken into their home. Checking their security system, they notice something strange. The front door is wide open. Naturally, they assume the worst. If the door is open, someone must have come inside. But when they go back and review the security footage to see who entered, things take a disturbing turn.
We've seen this one before too, but again, we didn't get the explanation that they gave, that Silent Nightmare gave here. All we heard was before was the alarm and the house went off, so they thought someone broke in, and then they took off out a back window or something, and one of them left their camera here running. So this is the home security camera in the kitchen. I don't know why it's pointed at our microwave right now, but when Silent Nightmare showed the clip of the door opening, here's the humidifier, incense burner, whatever the heck that thing is. So the door should be just off screen to the right here. I don't know why it's, like I said, I don't know why it's rotated and looking at the microwave instead of at the door where it should be.
Clear.
Okay, so it rotated back around, and all it caught was the Roomba. Okay. So there was a reflection of somebody scooting by that opening where the Roomba just went through. That from that post there, that way into the kitchen. That was fast too. I don't think that was a person. And I don't know what it's catching over here, but there was a green square around it for a second. It's not focusing on the area where the green square is. I'm guessing because it only has certain areas that it can rotate to. That's a cheap arse camera. But there's clearly something in that doorway it's trying to focus on. It keeps putting the green square around it like it did for the Roomba. But it won't stop there, so it's having trouble focusing on where it should be aiming, which is a little annoying. Now it's pointed up, and it's putting green squares on something here. That's weird. I didn't notice it before, but was that some kind of gray shadowy shape straight above it that it kept putting the square on? That was weird. No, I take it back. That shadow was there. It's just randomly putting green squares up there for some reason, like it's tracking something.
The camera clearly shows the front door slowly opening, yet no one appears to walk through it. There's absolutely nobody there. At this point in time, the sisters haven't yet rewatched the footage themselves. All they know is that the door is open and their alarm is going off. As if the...
When that thing sped by, it kind of looked like a cartoon figure going, wah! As it ran. It looked kind of funny.
Situation couldn't get any more stressful. They suddenly hear a police car outside, which only makes them assume something very serious is happening. But then, something even more unsettling occurs. If you watch closely, it becomes clear that something is inside their home. Just not the kind of intruder they originally imagined. When the footage is examined more carefully, a dark, shadowy figure can be seen rapidly darting across the room, visible only through the reflection on a toaster sitting on the counter. The figure has no clear features and moves far too quickly to be a normal person. In fact, the motion detection camera begins to pan erratically, almost as if it's struggling to keep track of whatever it's detecting.
Door opening on its own. We closed that door.
And I mean, this house is like brand new. Like, it's not old or like anything.
Yeah, it's not like the latches are like faulty or something.
Everything works.
The fact that it just moved so quickly.
Yeah.
But then like
The motion capture camera didn't.
It not only moved quickly, it faded out before it left the image. I didn't notice that the first time it went through. It looks like it goes off the reflection, off screen, but it doesn't. It fades just before the edge of the where you can see it. It's really strange.
See that shape, and like when it was
how could
tracking
it have
the
even
movement.
known that it was movement?
Like, why is it that you see it one time and then in the rest of the footage there's like no, it's picking up on something, but there's nothing there. So why is it that we only see it like one time?
So the question remains, what exactly entered their home? And how did this strange presence get inside without triggering the motion detection in the first place? Let me know what you think about this one.
Well, that was some more Silent Nightmare for Fright Night Friday. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. It's free, helps out the channel. And if you want to see the original content, that link will be in the description below. And go over to Silent Nightmare, give him a thumbs up, like his content. He puts out some great stuff, and I really enjoy watching it, actually. So there's probably going to be more of it, especially since I haven't seen anything new from Nuke's Top 5 in, I think, 5 months now. So I think I might sadly drop Nukes from the list. But yeah, I will catch you next week for another Fright Night Friday. Bye-bye.